Hello, 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 everyone, and welcome back to the Finding Peace Within podcast. I am your host, Ms. Lisa L. Dalton. Now, the Finding Peace Within podcast was created to help you find your authentic self through spiritual awareness. And how do you do that? You do that by studying the Word of God, doing the necessary work that you need to do to find your peace within. It is a journey, may I say that. Now, if this is your first time visiting the podcast, I want to say welcome. If you are a repeat guest, welcome back. If you would like to connect with me on all social media outlets, I say this, just Google my name, Lisa L. Dalton, and you will find me there. You can find my website, findingpeacewithin.org, and on the website, you can find my books, you can find previous podcasts, you can go back and listen to all my Lisa 6 and 3s, which are my morning motivations that I post on all my social media outlets, which gives you a little hope for the day, gives you a little hope for today. I want you to get your pens and your pads as we take this journey to finding peace within together. Hello once again, everybody. I know y'all already got the welcome, but I want to say welcome once again to the Finding Peace Within podcast. I'm so glad you decided to tune in to today's podcast. I have a special friend with me today, and we're going to continue to talk on From Trauma to Triumph. Season 8, we're focusing on wonderful women of God who have gone through some stuff, y'all. I don't know why we think, or the world may think, just because you gave your life to the Lord, that things are going to be peachy cream. But no, it is not. And once again, if you have not checked out the previous podcast, go back to YouTube, go back to my page and on Facebook and my website, findingpeacewithin.org, and listen to the other stories of the women who have found their peace within. And today I have my friend, Miss Kathy Dawson-Cash from Hartsville, South Carolina, where we grew up as friends and classmates. And welcome to the podcast.
Thank you.
Thank you for agreeing to do this. A true woman of God, one that has gone through the fire. And I've been through the flood. But came out smelling like roses. So welcome again.
Thank you so much.
To Finding Peace Within.
Thank you. I'm happy to be here.
I'm glad you're here. So tell us, who is Kathy? Now I know her as Kathy Dawson.
That's good enough.
But she still uses cash.
Yes, I do.
You know, she still uses cash. But Kathy Dawson is my friend. Tell the people who you are, Kathy. Introduce yourself.
I'm just a normal girl, a country girl, sweet. Not unless you make me unsweet.
Put a little lime in there.
I'll do anything I can to help anybody. If I can, I mean anything, you know. And I just try to do my best, to do what I need to do, to help people with the journey that I've been through. And it's been a journey, and God's taken me through it, and He's brought me through it, and He's still bringing me through.
Amen. And y'all, Kathy just celebrated her 59th birthday. Like yesterday. This is pre-recorded, but Kathy, happy birthday.
Thank you.
You don't look 59.
Thank you. 59. They climbing fast, right?
I know, right? We're getting more mature. I don't like to say we're getting older. We're getting more mature.
Exactly.
And you know what? It's always a good day. When you wake up and you see another day.
Yes, it is.
Amen.
To God be the glory.
Amen. So today we're going to talk to Miss Kathy about her journey to her smile. And of course, Kathy and I used to go to church together when we were younger. But, life happens, y'all. Y'all know life happens. But and this was what we were saying before we started to record today, our hearts never left the Lord.
Never.
Our feet may have left the church.
Yes.
That part.
Yes.
But our hearts never left the Lord. So, Kathy, you haven't written your book yet.
Right.
But we're going to start on that book now.
Okay.
So tell me, Kathy, as we start our journey about your story, I know you got married at a very young age.
Right. Very.
Let's talk about, because were you pregnant when you got married?
No.
Okay, so you must have been in love.
Yes. Yes.
So tell me, at 18, did your mama and daddy say yes? First of all,
course they didn't want me to get married.
Did Bishop Davis say yes?
Well, she married me. She married me. You know, we was young and trying to, live right with God and stuff. You want to do things right.
Yeah.
So, we got married, and had 2 kids, 2 beautiful kids together, Yeah.
Now, at 18, did you know, and see, now that I'm more mature,
right?
I understand it's not about being married, it's about being a wife.
Right.
So at 18, what example did you have on being a wife, not being married? And I know your parents are still married today.
Yes, they are.
How long they been married?
59
years.
Yeah. 59 years.
Wow.
That's what I always wanted. Yeah.
And so your mom and your dad was your example.
Right. But my life didn't work that way.
So what was it? How long were you all married? Tell
Well, we wasn't married long at all. I got married at 8. I graduated, at 18, and then 3 months later we got married. And then it was like, it wasn't long after I got married, I said I probably shouldn't have got married, so young. And then
like course, a year, 2 years?
When I got...
After you got married, you said,
probably about,
maybe about this.
Yeah, it wasn't even that long when I felt like I should have waited, because I should have went on to college and I should have did all this stuff because I was very smart at that time.
Yeah.
And
she said at
that time, honey, but my life story sometimes you wonder, And got married at 18. Wasn't long I was pregnant, and then so I had to quit going to little tech. I was going to tech.
You're going to Florence, Arlington?
Yeah, I was going there. Then my son, I was trying to do that. Then he was really sick. He almost died when he was young.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, very, very sick. And so I went on from there, and by the time we decided to separate, which was like 3 years, a little less than 3 years.
It's that 3-year mark.
Yeah, and I didn't realize that at that time it's like I was pregnant and separating at the same time.
With your son,
with my daughter. At that time.
With your daughter.
Yeah, so it went on.
So your
from
son
there.
is the oldest.
Yeah, my son is the oldest. Yeah, and went on from there.
So what was it that broke up the marriage for you guys? Or was it just too young? You didn't know what you were doing? After the sex was over, you realize you can do it every day, and it ain't as good as they say when you're mad.
Yeah, but it's like a lot in between there, and a lot of things that you won't be said.
Yes, absolutely.
But I don't know. We say now we just got married too young. We shouldn't have got married that long. Because he was like, you want to get married? We was like, yeah, we jumped into it. Trying to do the right thing.
Because of course, when you grow up in the apostolic church,
correct,
not like some of the others. You're not supposed to even hold hands.
You can't hardly do nothing.
You can't. You can't go to the movies.
Not got a chaperone.
And you got a date with a chaperone.
Yeah, you got to do all this stuff.
You got to wear your long skirt.
It was very strict at that time.
Very strict at that time.
I think
with the dolly on your head.
Yeah, for real. Seriously,
I know. Yeah. Seriously.
Yeah.
And so, because of course, I've been a part of Nazareth before, when I was 18, 19.
Yeah. In those days,
In those days, and Bishop, who wasn't Bishop at the time, but she's Bishop today.
Right.
She saved my life.
Seriously.
From not getting married.
See, that was good.
At 18.
Yeah, it was very, very good.
Yeah.
I just say, even though it's really, really strict, and a lot of times people's like, y'all in code. Really, I was really saved back then. I got saved like at 13.
Yeah, Kathy got saved at 13.
Yeah, and I was like, feel like I was more saved than I am now. I mean, just really strong in God. And striving to get just back there now. And so it's just, if I had stuck that way and not get married, I think I would have. It's like I had a lot of stumbling blocks. Something just keeps stopping me from where I need to get to, but not no more.
That's right, because
a whole lot.
We found our peace within at 59.
Yes, Lord. Yes.
And so now you're divorced. You have 2 children, and you. What were you staying? Were you with your mom and dad, or were you in your own place?
No, when I left, I was gone.
So you left him, or y'all just agree? Okay, we just
Okay, no, when we split up, he left and he went to his mom. I'm sorry, I misunderstood that. Yeah, for the reasons and
So when you got separated, he went to his mom's.
Yes.
And you went back to.
I stayed where
you stayed where you were. Now you were you working? Okay.
Yeah, I always did that.
I always had a job. You know what? As moms, we gonna keep a job because we gonna take care of our babies, right? Yeah. We gonna take care of our babies.
You got to do what you got to do. Yeah.
And so you meet Mr. Cash.
Yeah. When I met him,
look at that smile, y'all.
When I met him, my daughter was 2 months.
What?
Yeah.
So you and your first husband didn't stay married under 3. Child, my first 2 didn't last 3.
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
okay. You know, the third one we're at year, I think, 18. Child, we've been
it's
together
all right, Daddy.
time.
You got the right one. Lord, send me the right one,
He
please.
gonna come. He said the Lord, the man that findeth the wife, and you are certainly a wife. Okay, you are certainly a wife. So Mr. Cash comes along, and your baby girl is 2.
Yeah.
What's the age difference? 2 months.
Yeah.
What's the age difference between your son and your
less
daughter?
than 3 years. He was born in 83. She was born in 86.
Okay. And y'all got married when?
82.
2, 3, 4, 5. So okay, so you were pregnant and divorcing at the same time.
I actually didn't know we were
You
separated.
didn't even know you were pregnant.
We didn't know I was pregnant. It's like this going. Then I found out I was pregnant.
You found out you were pregnant.
Yeah.
Then Mr. Cash comes along.
Yeah.
And sweeps you off your feet.
Yeah. You're a tall, dark, handsome dude. I probably shouldn't be saying all that now, right?
It's okay, girl. See, this is the deal with the church, y'all. Because, see, we church babies.
Yeah.
And the church does not like to keep it real. And then when we get a little taste of the world, it's like, wow, this is what it's like. And what happens, that desire of what we are attracted
Lord have mercy.
we fall into it.
Yeah, I fell into it.
But if the world, I did too. But if the church had told us the truth about the world, not just stay away from it,
right?
But look,
kind of let you live a little bit,
dibble and dabble a little bit,
exactly.
so you can get a little bit something under your belt and not be so green.
But you get out there,
and you go buck wild. I'm just gonna,
Oh, I did go buck wild.
You go buck wild with it, and now you confused.
Had a lot of fun doing it.
Bishop Noel Jones said, "Don't tell me sin ain't good."
Yeah, seriously. Some people like, it wasn't good at all. I was.
Yes, it was.
I don't know what type of sin you was doing. But mine was good. It was wrong,
but then, okay, so you and Mr. Cash meet. Was Mr. Cash in the church?
Not really. He grew up in church too, so
not Nazareth.
At that time we weren't really just going to church as much then. But we go to church, but we weren't like into it like that.
How long did y'all date before?
Before we got married, we met in 86 and we got married in 95.
Wow.
Yeah. So we was like
that was a long time.
Long time.
So were you living together?
Okay, so
you didn't do that part.
No, I didn't do that.
But you was doing everything else.
I did it later.
The truth ain't the devil.
Yeah, unfortunately, but
so did you feel like Mr. Cash was the one?
Yeah, I did.
Did he come to the Lord at any point?
Not really, but I can't say what was he saved or was he not. But he went to church and stuff like that. So and we went to church together a lot like that. So, but did
he exhibit the fruit of the Spirit?
No.
Okay.
Not at that time. There was a lot of stuff going on. That's one reason why we split. But he was a good man. He's actually my kids. They kind of like being with him or than their father,
because he became, of course, and what's your daughter's name?
Shannon.
Shannon was 2 months, and your son was 6?
Yeah, something like that. No, a little around 3.
3 when y'all got together.
Yeah.
So he was that father. He became
really
that father for them. But then I know that there were some situations in your marriage with Mr. Cash that really tore your soul apart.
Oh God, it really did.
You know, so you
just
said
keep spiraling.
And that's when things really started to go downhill.
Yeah, for real.
What did that look like for you? Because in your mind now, I'm getting ready to get divorced again.
Yeah, it's very painful and very hurtful because I was the type of person. I always thought I was gonna get married. Like my mom and dad, I always wanted me a husband to take care of my husband. I'd do anything. I'd cut your toenails, you know. I always thought I'd have a husband like the rest of my life, but it didn't work that way. And then here comes number 2, gone again. And then I never was the type. I never thought like, well, what's wrong with me? Because I know it wasn't anything wrong with me, but I just wanted to work, but the situations we had, it couldn't work. Yeah,
it wasn't
work no more. Hey, his birthday, he's May the 22nd. I'm May the 23rd.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, we was
So you find yourself divorced again.
Again, yeah.
With how old were your kids at this point?
Don't make me
How long did that
adding.
marriage last?
Well, we didn't say married no time because we really pretty much spent our time.
The dating.
We was together, and then we decided to finally get married. But they didn't last because of the situation. I won't
Absolutely.
Say.
The thing that tore your soul apart.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And then we probably would have stayed married if I would have stuck with it, tried to stick with it, but I couldn't do that with that situation. You know. It was a lot of stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. So how did that tear up who Kathy was?
It broke me down. It makes you feel sometimes like what do you do with your life? Your life is not, not that. Sometimes you feel like it's really not worth living because it's just one thing after another, failure after failure.
Yeah.
But you have to pick up and put on your big girl
panties.
And you got to take care of your kids, do what you got to do, and move on. That's how I always did. It was me and my babies. That's one thing that I didn't fail in, me and my babies.
That's good. Yeah. And then you see now, I'm not sure if this whole thing called marriage is even for me.
Right.
Because this is what has happened.
Yeah.
Because I know when I divorced the second time,
seriously, yeah.
I felt like, just like you, there's nothing I can do that's gonna succeed. I just fail at everything,
it's a lot, and it don't look good and don't feel good, And people always look on the outside. They don't know what be going on and the reason why a thing happened. Sometimes people think you just, she got married again. Now she just get married and get divorced.
Married. Right.
And they don't realize, I know they say to death do you part and all this kind of stuff. Like, to me, that when it's dead, that's death to part.
Did y'all get that? Not that we're rewriting the Bible,
right?
But when it's dead,
it's dead.
It's dead.
I always felt that way.
You dead alive.
Yeah, I'm not gonna sit there and
and endure.
No, why would you keep doing that? And most of the time, whenever you decide for me, if I'm done with it, it ain't just like, oh, I'm done. It's something building on up to it. If I give anybody, if I love you, I give you chances after chances. Let's try to get together because I want it.
You wanted it so bad.
Yeah, I want it. Yeah, that's all I ever wanted.
So you moved from Mr. Cash, and you said, Kathy really likes being a wife.
Yeah, really.
She really, and a lot of us, and like I enjoy being a wife, and I think that's why I never gave up on marriage because I really enjoyed being.
It's a beautiful thing.
It's a beautiful thing, and not just to have sex legitimately.
Not just to have that. Well, it's all right. But no, it's not just that. Seriously,
right?
But companionship is beautiful.
When you're building something with someone, and I say, marriage, of course, we are made for them, for the man, because God made it that way. We are to help them. So when there is something inside of me that can help birth out a vision that a man has, that the husband has, I'm all in. Where we going? What we doing? How you need me? What part do I play in this? Exactly.
I'll give it all. That's it.
And so Mr. Cash is gone now, and you're with your kids.
Yeah.
And then you meet.
Oh Lord.
The next one.
My file.
Then that one just fell apart too. But that was the one that was the most abusive.
That was abusive, yeah. When we started out that fight, when you get that first lick.
What was the first lick? And how long had y'all been together? Because y'all never married.
No. We were together 5.
She was together longer with the abuser than she was with the two husbands.
Well,
now, we need to talk about that.
Yeah,
because there's always a reason when you're in an abusive relationship.
Exactly, yeah. But actually, what wasn't longer is just that those was longer. Like Cash, we've been together for years and years.
Yeah, that's correct. That's correct. Just said married. That's right. That's right.
And me and the kid's dad, we was together. We started dating very young. I was like at 16. I was surprised I was able to have company on the porch. Yeah, on the porch. Yeah.
But you better not let the lights come on.
No, can't do none of that. But yeah, that abusive thing. Like we talked before. I'm always the one like. Child, please, I never. And a lot of people say that. And I be like, don't never say that because you don't never know. I ended up in that longer than what I thought. It was something else that happened that had made me stay a little longer. But I stayed longer when somebody threatening you that they're going to kill you, your family. Wow, there's a whole lot of stuff, you can get things in your mind and you just get stuck. And then I had, like I say, something else that happened. When I was getting ready to leave him, maybe about 3 years before, maybe 2, I think maybe 3 years, I was going to leave. I didn't tell the kids, but something else happened, and that made me kind of just stay, and that was kind of bad. But yeah, all that fighting, but you learn to put up some licks in too. That helps out a little bit.
Yes, it does, because you ain't gonna just scratch me up and beat me, and I don't get no licks in. Because I've been in abusive relationships.
So you did too? Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's awful.
Before,
yeah.
And it was easier to stay because you know where he is and he knows where you are.
That's it. Yeah.
But then when the gun gets put on the table.
Yeah. All that. Well, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Oh, yeah. Lisa.
When the gun gets sit right here and then the B words begin
to
come.
All of that
right there.
Yeah.
Now it's a whole different ball game.
It's
because you for real about killing me.
It's seriously all that about the same type of situation. But you just never know what people going through. But sometimes now I can look at women and tell if they're, and I try to talk to them because I don't mind talking to anybody about anything. And if I can help, because you'll need somebody and you're scared, you don't know what to do, and then sometimes you feel like you ain't got nobody that you can depend on. Then you feel like, did everybody forget about me? You know what I mean? People just...
Right. How old were your kids when you left Mr. Cash? I'm not Mr. Cash, but your...
In that other situation?
The other situation.
Now, how old were they? Probably around about 14, 13. It was something around that age like that.
And it's hard, especially when you're raising, not just a daughter and a son, but children in an abusive home, because they pick up those traits.
Yeah,
and see, you did. I'm quite sure you didn't raise up with that.
No, that was another situation too I had to get into. But see, they end up not being into it after a while. God. It was my mom and dad for a few years. Yeah, about 2-3 years.
Okay.
So that was that. So.
And then I want
to. That's one reason why I stayed a little longer too. But that's another situation.
And I know he left you literally broke.
Right, completely.
Took everything.
Yeah, completely broke.
Nothing.
Yeah, I think I wiped all the way out. Crazy.
Things you've worked for.
Yeah.
And then you come home one day but see, that's the stuff that the women's supposed
they don't
to
know.
do.
Yeah.
Not the man. The man don't come and take all the furniture.
Because you already know there ain't no man already. You hitting on the lady. You know what I mean?
That
what kind of man does that?
What kind of man does that?
Yeah.
A coward.
Yeah,
right?
You completely.
Yeah.
Need a bullet. No. See, I said I was going to be good.
I want you to be yourself, Kathy. Be yourself, girl. Be your authentic self.
Seriously,
that's what Finding Peace Within is about.
Yeah,
because, again, once again, in the church, we cover things up.
Yeah.
And we have sisters and brothers who are drowning.
Seriously.
Life is suffocating them and crying for help. It's like, do you not see this pain on my face?
Yeah,
and we just walk by.
Yeah.
I know, because I've been
sad,
there.
But that's what happened. Yeah.
And they just walk by as if you good.
Yeah, exactly.
And say, the Holy Spirit is, I'm discerning, I ain't gonna ask, is everything okay?
Seriously, yeah.
Because I can see things are not okay.
Exactly.
I'm just like, sis, let's talk.
There you go. You need more of that. That's what a lot of times people say they save saints, fill it with Holy Ghost, but you forget about it. We're not doing our job at all. We're not doing our jobs. We're not getting out there like they say.
And speaking of that, where was the church and where were you where were you in the church?
Oh, at that time, I wasn't in it.
You weren't in the church?
No, couldn't in it because of things. I wasn't in it, but like you say, once you've been saved and had, you know, the Holy Ghost and stuff, God knows you're going to always be drawn and yearning, you know, pulled back towards that. You'll never be completely satisfied ever until you get back where you need to be. Yeah. I'm telling you, you always, it's pretty sad and it's hurtful and it's painful because you know where you need to be and where you want to be, but sometimes it's just so hard to get back. You know, it's like once you get yourself spiraling down and going through all this stuff and I mean, it's hard. It's hard to get back.
It really is.
That's when we need our saints of God to be, you know, checking on you, because a lot of times you be like, people don't see you. How they forget? People forget. They forgot about me. You know what I mean?
The church.
Yeah, you forget about you. You need to be checking on people. You need to go try to find out what's going on. Because a lot of times we be needing help.
Yes.
We need help.
Yes. I haven't seen you. I just want to make sure you're okay.
Seriously.
Especially if you come to church all the time.
Seriously.
And all of a sudden 2 Sundays and you ain't been at church.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Let's call and check in.
Yeah, it's a situation.
Now I want to fast forward
Go ahead.
to your daughter's relationship.
Oh Lord. Mm-hmm.
With her boyfriend.
Okay. Not her boyfriend.
With the guy who Kathy's daughter was murdered, and not gonna say killed.
Yeah,
was murdered.
Yeah.
And did you? Let's talk about. Did you? Because it wasn't a relationship.
Yeah, I say it like this right here. I know it wasn't her boyfriend. You can't say they was kicking it or was they not. I can't say that part. But anytime she had a boyfriend, she always introduced me to him, whether I agree with him or not. Right. She gonna always do that. Now I can't say they was kicking or doing anything like that, but it wasn't a boyfriend. A lot of people saying they think that, but it wasn't her boyfriend at all. But when I first found out about him at all, she said, "Ma, I met a friend." She said, "I'm helping him get into his apartment, you know, like I'm going."
And how old is she?
Yeah, how old was she?
How old was she? Yeah, at that time.
When she got killed, she was 25.
But when she came to you and said, "Ma, I met a friend,"
25.
It was at 20.
She just met him.
Oh God. Okay.
Yeah, she just met this dude. Whoever I know who he is now. Yeah, she just met him, and then the next thing you know, I don't know how often she went over this and that other. Next thing I know, you know, somebody stabbed her to death 3 times.
So tell me about when you got the call.
Oh Lord, I was the day before.
Did you know was she still at home, living home, or was she on her own?
She was gone then.
Okay.
Yeah, she was at my grandma's, and at that time when I found out that my daughter, the day before she called me. She said, "Mom, when you get off work today, will you come by and see me?" So I said, "Yeah." I said, "I will," and then I said, "What she wants?" And when it was, she got no man, she can see me, and so. Thank God I remember, because that was a late night. I was working doing the finance company at that time, and I called. I was about to turn to go home. And I said, "Shannon, where you at?" And she told me. I said, "What? Well, who stay down there? Why you always, like this and that, the other?" So she's going to find out that she was at that guy's house at that time, and so I talked to her. She came out and talked, and I said, "Well, at least you didn't want anything." And I said, "I know And she asked me something. I said, "Well, you should, I can't say what she talked about." But long story short, when she got ready to go, she walked off, and he was like an apartment. He stayed in the back, and she stayed in the front. She said,
so they live in the same complex?
No, she was just over there, her and some girlfriend. She said, "I'm over here, Mom. We just hanging out, me and some of my girlfriends in the guy house." And so I said, "Well, Shannon, okay, then be careful." I said, "You can't be always all these people is not your friends, stuff like that, not your friend." But anyway, when she went to the back of the apartment and she left after we talked, she did this little dance, girl, and then she blew me a kiss, not knowing that was gonna be the last time I'd see her. And so that day, and my locks, I normally don't do my hair until always the weekend at that time. So I said, I did my hair that night. I don't know why. And I normally get some type of feelings when things gonna go wrong. But somebody else came in my yard, and there was a situation where we talked about whatever that was going on. So, but a month before she got killed, I told her, Shannon, I said, I keep getting this feeling something will happen to you if you don't change your friend. Because I dreamed this stuff like that. So she was like, you do my head turn around. So anyway, that night, so the next morning, my son, he was with his wife at that time, was in Washington. And he called me, he said, Mom, I heard somebody keep saying Shannon hurt down on 8th Street. I said, hurt? And then I said, okay, let me find out. So can I find out something? And she said,
So he got a call in D.C.
Yeah. And I said, see how much she hurt. She can't talk. That came in my mind. And so then I kept trying. I tried to talk, taking my hair loose right fast. And I said, let me go. And I called somebody to go down and check on Shannon. And they come to find out, he called back hard and screamed, Mom, Shannon dead. Shannon dead. When at that time, when I got, it's like, it almost like something go, like a poof. It's like, it's a feeling you can't describe, like something just came over me. And so all I could do, I just threw on something. Went down Railroad Avenue, and then I got a call, whatever you doing, don't stop, park the car, don't go. But I went on and just stopped to the Tina shop and left the car there. And at that time, it's like I don't even know what's going on. It's like all my life was going out of my body. I couldn't do anything. So we went back to the house, and people already coming to the house and stuff like that. And then we had to get together for everything. And next thing you know, people there. And then next thing you know, you going to the funeral home. Then you looking at your daughter in the casket dead. That was one of the worst thing. It almost like it's like a dream. You go to sleep, you wake up, you wishing that you could wake up and it's not true. And I believe I walked to New York and back. I couldn't be still, couldn't keep my mind together. And then next thing you know, you're trying to pick out caskets and you can't keep your mind on it. I finally told my mom and my pastor, y'all just do whatever. And then, people everywhere, It's
so you don't really have any time to process.
You don't have no time at all.
What's going on here?
No, you don't have no time.
Until everybody is gone.
Everybody's gone.
And then it hits you.
Yeah, it hits you.
How did this affect your son and the rest of the family? Because at this time you had grandchildren.
Yeah, my grandbabies and stuff. It's like you're here, but you're gone. I almost felt like I was crazy. Really went crazy. Couldn't get. I even thought about killing myself.
Wow.
Trying to go to work and stuff. Doing all this stuff. They would say drive out in front of the long distance truck, and I didn't do it. Thought about it. A couple of more came. I thought about it, but. And then what I used to do, a lot of time I would jump in my car and I would ride afterwards, just so I can holler and scream like I want.
Yeah.
And but my kid, my child, and my grandbaby, it's like I woke up 5 years later and I was like, it's like you don't forget about them, but you don't even know how to know yourself no more. Everything just changed. It just drives you crazy. Yeah.
Did you guys find it hard to talk about her and the death? Afterwards, it's almost like, well, life just goes on.
Yeah, this is what happens with me and my son. We'll be like, well, anytime we got something we need to talk about, we make sure we promise each other we're going to do it, but we don't never call. Like, sometimes I might call him and say, I want to tell him how I'm feeling, because I be just crying, But by the time I get him on the phone, I try to get myself together, because I don't be want to worry him like that, because it's a pain that you can't describe. It's a feeling. Nobody can help you. Only thing I can do is pray and ask God to take me. It's like I take a step at a time, because you don't know what to do no more. Your whole life changed, Then you want to find this person and do and kill him. I always say, like.
Now, did he was arrested?
40 plus 5.
And he's 40 plus 5.
Okay. Yeah. And go to court. I can't hardly remember half what went on with that. They were like, you don't remember? Your mind just.
What was the motive?
Why he killed her? Well, see, this is what I heard, which I didn't hear this for later. I kept hearing there was another guy involved, and they say he could have helped save her. But they say that he thought that my daughter stole some money from him. He had money. Come to find out, it was the other guy I'm talking about. He was the one. This is what I heard.
Took the money.
That took her money. And one thing, my daughter was never a rogue. Never. She was not a stealer. But even if somebody had stole your money, why would you do that?
Stab them 3 times.
3 times on both sides and then in her heart. Yeah, he meant to kill him. Mm-hmm.
How? Because these are her children.
No, my son.
Your son's killed.
Yeah, she lost a child about 3 years before she got killed. Mm-hmm.
How has that experience put you closer to God?
I ain't had no choice. I was either gonna get closer to God, or either I was gonna start drinking and drink myself to death.
Yeah.
And the devil tried to get me to do that too. Thank God I didn't do it. Drinking, and I would have probably been a drunk now, whatever. Staying close, praying. That prayer, only thing you got is to talk to God, because it seems like people forget about you. Mm-hmm. They don't know. They know you lost someone. They know you going. Well, I guess they don't know, because you don't hear from nobody no more. People just gone. You on your own.
But they bombard you the moment it happens. But then when you're sitting alone, nobody calls.
People, I'm gonna be there for you.
Nobody's there
Mom.
for you.
I'm gonna take you out for Mother's Day. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do that. I got one of Shannon's friends that truly she stands by me.
So you had to get back to God.
Yes.
Because other than that, you would have been a drunk.
Yeah. I would have been a drunk.
For real.
Kill a lie.
Yeah.
But I got back. I'm still striving to get closer even now. But that's the only thing that helped me, because I felt like I was like all alone. It's nobody don't come check on you, really at all. So it's like you're in the big old house by yourself. All you can pray and try to keep your mind on God.
What does that say? Because we're believers, and because we are really living in the faith and walking, the spiritual walk. What does that say about the body of Christ?
It says a lot. People just forget, because even if everybody just do a little bit, it'll be all right. I know everybody have their own life stories and stuff like that, and the things that they go through, but you got to always realize if somebody going through trauma like that, they need your help.
Yes.
They really need your help. You don't have to run in and out the house every day, but check on them, see how you doing. Give them a hug, sometimes a hug, all that matters, just a hug, tell me I love you, love me, do anything, just check on me from time to time. That way you won't feel you're already lost, lost your child and then you lost, life from the whole world, but somebody need to come forth to try to help,
And I know the anniversary is coming up.
Oh, Lord,
From her death, and of course, her birthday.
Yeah. Yeah, I buried her day before turning 26. Yeah,
and it'll be 11 years this year from that. But we celebrate life. Tragic, yes.
Yes.
But we celebrate the times.
Right.
That we have, cherish the time we have, cherish the memories that we have. And we let the Lord do the healing.
Yes, Lord.
And I think that's also why the Bible says, put your trust in no man.
Yeah, seriously, you can't. Now that says a whole lot. You really can't.
Because
people don't. Yeah.
People will let you down.
They will.
So how has Kathy found her peace within?
By trying to, when that first happened and stuff, now I've made some mistakes along the way, comfort in the wrong places and stuff like that.
Yes, that happens. Yeah.
Yeah, but
looking for love in all the wrong places.
Yes, Lord.
Yeah.
Trying to get close to God, reading the Bible, that helps a lot. YouTube's a lot of preaching and stuff. I be having church like in my own home.
Yes, you do. I walked in, she had Kiki Sheard and Bishop Jakes on TV. I said, well, praise the Lord. Praise the Lord. Yes.
I love him. I love Noel Jones now.
Yes.
Too.
Oh, girl. Bishop Jones.
Yeah.
He'd be bringing the word for real.
Yeah, seriously. What you say?
What is it like being single and saved?
It's rough out here in these streets.
Well, I'm married, but
I know.
I've been single and saved before.
You really you just have to you have to keep your mind on God, and you can't be watching like
that part.
Yeah,
watch what's going in your spirit.
Seriously.
Because I did that, and as a matter of fact, when Stephen and I were dating,
and
we don't do it now as married couples. We don't watch we don't watch petting. I think the most kissing we see is on Sheldon.
Yeah. It's funny.
I mean, when we I ain't gonna say that, but
right.
it's very light. It's
Seriously.
very light because, and we say this, you are only as delivered as your next test.
That is true.
Okay.
Yeah, you got it.
How do you don't know you delivered until you get tried with
don't
it
have
and
a
get
clue
tested.
Because he waiting on you now.
That part
Yeah.
right there.
He
You know, the
waiting
enemy
on
is
you.
seeking who he can
Yeah.
devour because he want to sift us like wheat.
Seriously.
And so that's why and the Bible speaks of this. When you are single,
Right.
you are married to the things of
Seriously,
the Lord.
I'm telling you, you better be. For you know, it don't take but a second, Bo. You be right there. You have to stay focused, and I'm working on it daily because all I want to do is be saved.
Yeah.
Now I didn't did enough of crazy stuff. None of that because I wanted to at that time too. Well, you know, once you get out there, you ready to go for it. None of that. But God's been good, and my son, you know, he's a big help, you know, and he always say, "Mom, I lost my sister," because he was more like, you know, like the big the brother slash little, you have to get him to school, all this kind of stuff like that. Yeah, I know
And
it's really rough
how
on him.
has he been? How is he, you know, from the murder and all the stuff? Because you weren't the only one that was affected.
Exactly. It's not easy for him, but he always say, "Mom, I lost my sister." He said, "But that was your baby." You know, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's pretty rough. And he always talk positive. And sometimes, and that's another thing, when you lose a child and things happen, you be like, I mean, I should have did this. I could have done that. You do a lot of that. You be like, Mom, you was the best mom ever. You need to stop doing that.
Yeah.
Maybe I wasn't good. Maybe I should have did it. Maybe it's my fault. Why should I? You know, all kind of stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's a lot. It's a whole lot of stuff that goes on with this death thing. Yeah.
And even if it's not death, you know, like literal death.
Right.
But when we see our children going down
Seriously.
the death road,
Telling you.
know, death road.
Yeah, seriously.
And living a life that you know.
Yeah.
You know, because I can only imagine, you know, our parents when we were teenagers.
Wow, I know my mama been praying a lot on those knees for that crazy girl.
You know, and Jesus speaks of the prayers coming up as memorials.
Right.
You know, so all those prayers that my grandma went, your mama, your grandma, our pastors
I know
praying
that
and interceding for
honey.
us, child.
Child, we've been doing some crazy stuff. We
Yes.
had a lot of fun, and God had to keep us.
Cover us.
Yeah, because we could have been gone from here.
If we weren't gone, we would be infected with some kind of disease.
I ain't lying.
That we
Seriously.
be on some drugs right now.
I'm telling you.
Because
That's
it's not
the truth
curable,
now.
you know. So we thank God for His grace.
Yes,
we thank God for His
it's been
protection.
really good.
Because what should have happened,
It did.
did not happen.
They'll give me a chance to do what I got to do for them.
Yes,
Lord,
and we thank God for that. And I know today ain't nothing tripping up Miss Kathy.
Nothing. That's right. Thank you.
She still got the desire to be a wife.
Oh yeah,
But she ain't gonna get tripped.
No,
not gonna get tripped.
Yeah.
And you know, when we get to this age, you know, as we come to a close, and I thank you so much
You're
for
welcome, baby.
being willing to share your story,
Yes.
because there are a lot of us in the church who are hurting, who have gone through things,
have
and
mercy.
they're not even delivered enough
Seriously.
to share their stories.
Right.
Of course, you know, I work in deliverance ministry, and I'm the altar praying for
Okay.
people. And so I, you know, say, Lord, you send me
Right.
to the person I need to minister today.
good.
You know, not just,
Yeah.
and I was when I accepted the call, I said,
Right.
Lord, I don't just want to just be, you know, an altar person that prays. I
Right,
want to
right.
really, you send me to the one
There you go.
that I need to pour into.
That's right. That's beautiful.
And he has
He'll
not,
do it,
and
yeah.
he has not failed.
Yeah,
You
he'll
know,
do
I
it.
might walk right over you, and I'm like, she needs
Seriously.
prayer, but no, but the Lord didn't
Yeah,
tell me.
that's
He
it.
told me to
You
go
got
to
to
this
do that.
one.
That's right.
You know, when you just walked over her, I said, but I'm not assigned to her. I'm assigned to this one.
That's it. Now that's how it's supposed to be.
And that's how it is. That's how. And when you know you're called, and so
Yes.
when we get ourselves to the place that we are really living for the Lord,
Right.
it's now our job to go out
Seriously, yeah.
and teach.
And see, that's one other thing before we leave. I do now. If some people, when people lose their child or whatever,
Yes.
the Lord tell me I try to talk to them and keep in contact with them and try to help them any way I can. You know, because I know how it is needing somebody just to talk to sometimes.
Yes.
And try to help you. So I do that.
Because
And
I
need to-
know Hartsville has had
Oh Lord.
a lot
A lot
of
of
young people
Seriously.
being murdered
Yeah, that's
in the
right.
past 5 years.
That's a lot. Yeah.
And I know my second cousin was murdered maybe 6 months ago, right down the street from our house. We were at home, heard the gunshots, Montgomery, 13 years old.
Yeah.
And we heard the drive-by, the pow, pow, pow. We jumped on the floor.
Yeah, I'm telling you. What's wrong?
Because it was so, I mean, it was like, and of course, you know, we're going to see what happens.
Yeah,
and so we walked down the street. I saw my mom was going to go down the street. And the phone started ringing. And it was my cousin's son.
Oh, Jesus.
Gunned down in the yard. 13. And they had the funeral at the middle school. Now, and they had the sheriff
trying to
blocked out. So the people who killed him want to come and disrupt the service.
See, that stuff hurts me when I hear about these people losing their kids and murder. You just taking people's kids. I don't care what the situation is.
Yeah.
What if that happened to you? You don't want nobody, killing nobody in your family. You can't resolve it a different way. Yeah. Just taking. They don't even thinking about nothing. Nobody. Just taking people's lives.
Just taking young people's lives.
Don't even thinking about it. Exactly. Just
young people who haven't even had a chance to live.
Exactly. I ain't had a chance to get grandkids with my baby. Just cut off that line. You know, just a lot of stuff.
A lot of things that go through
one, but it ain't. Yeah.
But you know, I'm glad that you have found a way to give back. And I do know, because when I was in my wilderness experience, serving is what helped me.
Right, yeah. It does.
It helps you get out of your funk.
It really does.
And it helps you to see that, baby, what you got going on ain't nothing compared to what you see over here.
It's a lot.
And and Jesus also says, you know, if you want to be the greatest, be the least.
Yeah, I like that.
You know, become the servant. You know, Jesus, he
wouldn't have a problem doing that.
Become the servant.
Seriously.
Just like Jesus was. And he is the one that we have to go to in times of trouble.
He is.
I want you to share with the Finding Peace Within family in your heart today that you want them to know about the God you serve.
He's able. Yeah. He's definitely able. God will speak to me and he guides me. The more I pray, the closer I get with him.
Amen. Amen.
But it never goes away. Sometimes it gets better, as they say, but sometimes it really knocks you all the way back. But God, being close to God is the best thing that anyone can ever do. So I strive daily to get where I really, really want to be. All I want to do is, you know, I want to feel his power, his strength. Sometimes, you know, I just want to feel that smoke off of him. I just want to be so holy. So, you know, I don't know what to do with it. That's my heart desire.
Thank you,
so
Lord.
Just stay prayed up. That's the answer.
Thank you. The Bible says these come through fasting and praying. And I've never lost a son. I've never lost a child. And I can't even imagine. But that kind comes. Deliverance comes through fasting and praying.
Lord knows it does. It really does.
Fasting and praying.
Well, for God, I tell you, I
wouldn't have this
here.
Beautiful smile that we see today.
Thank you.
And I thank you, my friend. Kathy and I sang on the class reunion. With Paul Thompson.
Yeah.
God rest his soul. One of Hartsville's greatest, finest musicians. And we sang on his choir, the community choir. We went to Nazareth together. Bless you, Bishop Davis.
Yes.
And we just thank God for our upbringing.
Seriously, it makes
as tough as it was.
Yes, it was rough.
It was rough.
Yes,
but it was for our good. All things work together for the good of them.
Don't regret it at all.
Who loves the Lord and are called according to his purpose.
Go back to the class reunion.
Yeah, and so we sang the class reunion choir.
Yeah, she directed. You did that thing.
And I tried. But we had the best time. Shout out to the class of 1982. Hartsville High and Butler High School. We love you guys. And man, this has been great.
Yeah, it was.
This has been great. Thank you once again.
Love you, girl.
Love you too. And we we love y'all, man.
Yeah,
Thank you guys for tuning into the Finding Peace Within podcast. Kathy, where can they find you on social media?
Facebook. And Instagram.
And IG. What's your handle?
Kathy Dawson-Cash.
Kathy Dawson-Cash on both, man. Kathy loves her hat. She's still, man. And Kathy lost weight. Kathy's gone through some surgeries.
Yes,
but
Lord.
God has done an amazing thing. Man, we gonna keep talking, but we got to go.
Yeah.
I love you guys. Don't forget to tune in to the previous podcast of other ladies who have shared their trauma to triumph. Y'all know what I always say at the end of the broadcast. A centered soul is a centered mind.
That's beautiful.
Be blessed.
Okay, be blessed. Bye-bye.
Now, you go. Make it a wonderful, wonderful day. Don't forget to follow me on all of my social media outlets. Just Google my name and you'll find me there. You will find me there. Also, don't forget to tune in every Monday through Friday on Facebook to my Lisa 6 and 3. 6 o'clock, 3 minutes of morning motivation for you to get you throughout your day. Now, remember this one thing I always say. A centered soul is a centered mind. Be blessed.